everybody.
And
Hey,
Ralph, right away, I see only
We
2
are
pixels on the
back.
screen.
Take 2 for today.
hey. Really spontaneous today.
Very spontaneous. Last
Yes.
time we talked. No,
Was
by the
7
way,
minutes ago,
exactly.
but we
Welcome back
didn't
to.
record it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your channel didn't record.
Um,
I don't know why.
A quick
anyway.
summarization.
Anyway,
said... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
anyway. Welcome back to the Artist Coaching Podcast with your host, Jopke, Ralph, and me, Joey. Welcome. Last time we discussed how to get a collab with big artists, and Ralph shared his idea on how he dealt with demos that got sent in. We already talked about it, but let's just do it again, Ralph. Did you get any demos this week?
Yeah, I did get some demos. Definitely. I actually got one before it aired, which said collab bro, but I didn't collab. I didn't like it.
Okay.
And
did
that
you send
also
the bro
happens.
an email?
Yeah, I didn't respond.
As you also said.
But I did listen. And I didn't like it enough. But I also explained we have to be really picky because our release schedule is pretty full. So it really has to be really, really, really good. And the chances are slim that I would say yes, but you never know. Like, you really never know.
And when we recorded 7 minutes ago, you mentioned Brooks. Can you share that story?
Yeah, well, Jopke said that usually you can hear of the first few seconds of a demo whether or not you're dealing with a good producer.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when we started out working with Brooks, the first few seconds of his tracks, his mix was terrible, and but he really had a really good sense of musicality. Way better than I ever did. And so we listened past the few early seconds and then came to the conclusion that the guy was legit and actually could do something really cool. But his sound was, terrible. And he did really well, I must say.
Well, were you guys the ones who made the first track with him, or was he already some sort of name?
No, he was already signed at the Muziekfabriek, where also Showtek was signed. Yeah. And I think he spent a few times in the studio with Wouter as well. And but his manager then, we were talking about that before, he sent out demos to everybody, and also the one of Alamo, and it really spoke to me. He was doing some smart stuff with producing in a bass note F and then switching it around to C within the track, within the drop actually, and that's, to me that sounded really fresh. But as mentioned before, the sound was, at that point really bad, so I had to do it all over, new kicks, new everything. We did save some of the leads, and that was the first collaboration. And later on, the dude evolved like crazy, and man, he made some big hits, and he really found his own sound also. Because later on, we also did Joyride, which he made a demo also for Joyride, which was a little bit different, but also again those melodies, insane. But later on, he did a release on Future House Music, and that's where we really found his sound. And then, man, he really sounds really tight, and he's one of the best now.
What I remember, I also received demos at some point. I don't exactly know. It must have been like 2014 or 15.
From Brooks.
Yeah, from Brooks. From his management. They were really doing a good job because I don't know anyone who didn't receive his demos. But I don't know if they sent the same to everybody, because I remember receiving tracks like really big roomy, and they sounded pretty good. But I just didn't really feel that they were unique enough in a way. So I wasn't really I don't remember exactly, but I just remember not being blown away. So I also think I didn't respond. Not to be rude, but just busy.
That's also a thing, you could miss responding to the next Brooks or whoever, the next Hardway.
But I never feel like I missed an opportunity there. It's just like, hey, it's what I did, and it's also like, sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't, but sometimes
Yeah,
you don't feel something. I remember, I think it was Cashmere with Secrets, that was sent round to a lot of producers who were good with spinning. Also, the demo sounded not good at all, but the melody was there, and spinning was already saying, "We love this melody. Maybe you can make something out of it." I ended up having no time or like trying something, but it didn't work. And then a few months
Golfing.
later, it's Cashmere and
dude.
Tiesto. So Tiesto picked up on
Yeah,
it,
hey,
and
they never sent me that mail, but I remember being at Kashmir's studio in LA, and he had me listen to it, and he said, "Yeah, this is probably gonna be probably with Tiesto." I was like, dude,
yeah, yeah,
insane.
yeah. I received it before Tiesto then, I
Yeah,
guess. But I
man.
remember like I'm not the best A&R. I'm not the best. I'm not.
No,
I have
You're
a lot of
not.
hits as well, big hits that I hear once, and I'm like, I'm okay with it. And then a few like Calvin Harris, almost all Calvin Harris songs I really like. The first time I was like, I don't know. And then a few months later, I hear it somewhere, and I'm like, what's this song? Oh, it's that song from like. And then
no.
so I just suck
I
at
gotta
A&R
say,
nowadays.
I did
You're
make a few
diesel.
misses in my days as well. Yes, we all have that. Sometimes you cannot hear it in something that's really hype. But
This is the
yeah,
thing. This is the thing. What I really like maybe is not prone to be a hit at all. So maybe yes. Oh, that Secrets is like a really big hit, but I just didn't like it that much. And I have to say, the producer who worked on that, I don't know who ended up collaborating with Kashmir and Tiesto for that. But I don't think it's just them two. But they did an amazing job on that track because it sounds really, really good. Still does, I think. So good.
yeah, yeah,
So good.
Yeah.
man,
I have a few guesses
epic.
from like producers that I know that produce for other producers as well, but I'm not gonna name names. It's probably
What?
all you can probably search all that. But I also heard a story today about a very big track. I'm not gonna name names again. Huge hit. I'm talking like more than 1 billion streams on Spotify. And one of the producers only got 10,000 euros for it, but no publishing, no master points. So he only got 10,000 euros on a track that made millions. Um, but yeah, I can't name names unfortunately, but it happens.
And
It happens.
Yeah,
do you
you
know?
got me curious.
Yeah, do you know how it happened? As in, is it just a matter of
It's
negotiating wrong? Or
yes and no. It's like the big boys, the big industry being a bit of bullies towards small time producers,
so it's a
and
small
kind of
producer.
saying like, hey, if you don't want this deal, we can do this track. We can do 10 other tracks. We don't need that track.
Yeah,
They kind of play it like that. And then if you are a small time producer or you just, I mean, 10,000 euros for a track you don't even know how it's going to
it's
perform
quite a
is
lot.
still very good money for a track.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can see how someone then is like, I kind of want publishing on it, but whatever, 10K in the bag. But then if that 10K could have been like 2 million, I mean, then you're a bit like,
Yeah, but
that's
it
always in
depends
hindsight.
on because we've been in quite some similar situations in our lifetime, and
You've missed a couple of millions.
no, the thing is, if you work on something that's already a track, let's say a remake, and you do your stuff, there's just not so much to divide, especially if it's like a track of a big name artist and which is signed on a major label. Yeah, man, they're gonna squeeze you. For them, it's just an extra to release it because they have the hit anyway. And so let's say there's like 5 or 10% of the total revenue to be shared, and 10% being much then. And you do 1 million streams, which is approximately $2 million to be shared of the total. Okay,
What?
you can do
How
the
many? How many did you say?
like I think if you get 1 billion streams, there's approximately around 2 million to be shared. If it's
Really?
Spotify streams, yeah. Think so. I'm not sure.
I
Could
thought
be two and a
more.
half million, something around that. That's
Oh wow, that's less than I thought actually.
yeah. Well, if you get 1 million streams, there's approximately like $2,500 to be shared.
Hmm.
We're not rich people, you know. So
Yeah, I think
let's
you're right.
say you get like a percentage point of the total. That equals like 25,000 dollars. But it then first has to get 1 billion streams on Spotify. So if you
Yeah.
get the 10K up front, that's also
But
worth
let's say
something.
if your track has 1 billion plays on Spotify alone, it surely has hundreds of millions on Apple Music, on YouTube, not to mention the radio airplay. So there is like a total sum of
Definitely, but
a lot.
then
Yeah.
then it depends on whether or not it's an existing track, you know. If it's total
This was an
original,
original.
you would get
The
paid
one I
10,000
know the
for it
story of.
and no points, then you have a really bad deal.
Screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, but it's a dirty business. I mean, the deals of the majors, and I don't know, it's only hearsay. Yeah, apparently they get like, they give around 18% of total
Oh
revenue.
wow.
Yeah,
80?
It's
18.
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. How do you guys think about the current divide of money in this industry? If you look at
It
labels,
sucks.
bookings, yeah?
The label bosses have way too much. I see
Yeah.
them on jet skis. I see them parading around in Ibiza, the major cities, getting oatmeal lattes in I don't know where, and I'm just plowing here through
Those
sounds in my
oatmeal
studio.
lattes are just that's just the final straw, you know. That's
What?
just
That's the oatmeal. Yeah.
the oatmeal
Just get a
lattes
normal latte.
that really
Yeah.
gets Ralph. Like that makes him furious.
Get a americano, man. Be a guy. Be a man.
Get a filter coffee, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, but is it really that bad as in uh
It's
for
around 60-40, 65
This is I
35.
think
Yeah.
it's like the money is being made by the big labels, and there's people there who make a lot of money. They're not gonna say, "Oh, I want to make less money." So it's kind of like this system is kind of in place now. It's really hard to change, and it's also the labels are run like companies. So it's all about making a profit. It's all about making less costs, more profit. So yeah, it's kind of the way it just
The hard thing is
way it
for
works.
them, it's a numbers game. The more they sign
Mhm.
potential hits, the more hits they will eventually have. But for you, it's not a numbers game. For you, it's also building an image, a brand. You want to express a certain vibe. It's expression. It's also art, you know. And it kind of our shit. My is my mic still on? Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yep,
still on.
you're still here.
Our drive to release music is way different than the drive for a label to release our music. Of course, they are not as involved in what we do. For us, it's an expression that comes from within. For them, it's just another track. You cannot actually blame them also.
What I what
But
I think what I think is weird now though is like 20 years ago, you needed a label because they knew how to distribute your music to get CDs, to get your CDs to stores in the right stores in the right spots. Now, all the infrastructure costs well a fraction of what it used to cost, and it's very much already in place. So it's like it's more of a you pay that much just because they're the big name that can get you there instead of you pay that much percentage of your track to them because
they do
it's a
know
bit
their
weird
ways.
like that.
Because also the gatekeepers, let's say all the streaming platforms, they also look at what are you going to invest in your track, how much money, who are you going to pay to do your promo, all that stuff. And that's the stuff they go like, okay, so you're willing to invest, let's say 15K on this record. Well, that's for us a drive to also give it some shine, you know. And who knows, together we can get people to stay on our platform to listen to your shit, and that's how it all works. Yeah, it's really corporate, and
Yeah.
kind of dislike it also. But yeah, on the other hand, we all have to accept it. That's why the bigger you get, the easier it gets. I mean, look at the big streaming names; they will get playlists way easier than the smaller ones. But yeah, they also had to work their ways up.
Do
You have
you
to be
guys
smart about it.
think it's lazy that, because I kind of feel that way in a way, it's very lazy that the huge artists who already have huge numbers do those simple cheeky remakes of songs. And I kind of feel like, let's talk about David Guetta, whom I respect a lot, because like what he's done. But in a way, I'm like, dude, why be lazy and choose a hit that has already a hit instead of like pushing boundaries, trying new stuff out? And
I really
I'm kind
liked
of like,
his Blue, which he did with Baby Rexha, the interpolation. I really liked it. I think it was pretty creative. But he did another one. I thought of the Logical song
he did
lately,
many. He did
and
like the
that song
last 3
didn't
years.
even have sub in there. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Did
Which one?
nobody even
Logical song?
listen? The Logical song, yeah, with Kim Petras, I think.
Oh, I have to check.
Sure, I can look it up. No problem, no
But now
problem. We're all on
Kygo
the
has as
internet
well.
here. Yeah, but I like
Wherever,
that one.
whatever. You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm always like a bit disappointed. I would love to see
To be honest,
original stuff, but it's maybe
I also
me. I'm
like
also just
original stuff more, but we do a lot of covers now as well, simply because of how the game has worked. Yeah, the Logical song when we were young.
Hmm.
Damn, thing didn't even have sub in there. I was like amazed.
Is that
But
old
yeah,
song from when we were young? It seemed
exactly.
that life
Yeah,
was so
yeah,
wonderful.
hey, you know it. You know the new hit.
Miracle.
that's the one.
Okay.
But yeah, we also do a lot of covers simply because for us, it's for everybody. It's hard to release an original
Yeah, but
and
it's
get some
like, well,
shine with it.
But
especially those big artists, they could get away with yeah, or maybe not, but I think David Guetta doesn't need to stream that much. He can push boundaries of dance music, make something new. You know,
Well,
it's
he did
there's
with Future Rave. He was pretty pushed the
true,
boundaries pretty much.
true,
Yeah,
true. Yeah,
and
true. But
yeah,
that's why I mean, like,
he
I do
also has
respect him, but I
mouths to
just
feed.
think like, and yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know.
He's
It's
he's,
also
he's
Kygo with
becoming
that
a
song.
father. I'm not sure if he
Just not a
already
fan.
was one, but
who?
he's getting a kid. I thought I saw
Guetta?
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh,
And not buying one, but really becoming a father. But I'm not sure if
getting
he
a kid.
already was a father. He's getting a
Yeah.
kid
I mean,
somewhere.
I've heard he's worth like 700 or 800 million. So I think
Yeah.
he doesn't have to worry about feeding
But
his
I
kid.
get your point, Job, because sometimes I also feel like, oh man, if I would have that kind of money or even like 10% of it, I would just fuck it. I would do whatever I like. Yeah. I would make music. Probably nobody likes it except me. Maybe you two guys. Hey, friends. But yeah, but on the other end, yeah, some of them are actually good new covers. I like the one Tiesto did for Heidi Klum, Sunglasses at Night. I think it's a really cool track.
Heidi Klum is also DJing these days, or
Yeah.
No, she sings on it, and it's a really cool track. I was really amazed. I heard it in a story, so I
I
asked, like,
missed that.
"What is this?" And it sounds really fresh, also with the women vocal on it. It's an old electronic song of Tyga. And what I also like is that the covers now are done with tracks of the early 2000s and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I like the Whenever Wherever also of Kygo. Like, okay, that's
And it's wherever,
yeah,
whatever.
whatever,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
Something
just
like that.
But
yeah.
why could it be that almost no one wants to do originals? I get the idea of it's like
That's because the public doesn't want it. Yeah.
is that so? Because I know
Yeah.
it's an easy shot, you know, it's an easy win to create a bootleg or to create a whatever, something familiar. I get it. It works.
Less hard
but
win.
easy win.
Easy.
Less
Yeah,
hard
it's
win.
so easy. So easy.
Like, why is it that are we all just becoming too lazy or too scared? Because eventually all the songs will dry up, and we've bootlegged all the songs out there, and someone needs to start making
No,
originals.
but you got to bend to what's out there also. And I remember watching Entourage. Did you guys watch that series? And
Mhm.
then really he didn't want to do Aquaman 2 because it was being this and that. And what he never grasped, Vince, that he had to do one for the public and one for himself. And
Mhm.
kind of, uh, yeah, balance that stuff out. I mean, yes, the public wants cool covers. It's plain and simple to see. And when you
I
look at TikTok, Instagram, when you do a cover, you post it, it gets
I don't
immediately
I
more
don't know. I think
traction.
if you listen to radio now, and sometimes I turn it on in the car, very shortly, there's always a cover song. I'm just curious, there's no like radio station, for example, out there trying new stuff. That's also a thing where maybe we just don't know if this is how I feel, that we probably don't know if new stuff really works, but the old stuff definitely works. So that's why the big labels are
Yeah,
like,
they're all playing it safe.
yeah, exactly. I think that's a bit lazy, a bit
But
boring.
there's still some
It's
original
safe. Like,
stuff in there, and it also works. But yeah, it's more scarce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I agree
yeah,
with you on that balance, right? So you can do bootlegs, but you should do originals as well. And I think that that always has been the case. You know, in back in my time, 10 years ago, I was also doing bootlegs, but 50 or maybe 70% out of the time was original work. I
Yeah,
kind of feel
the
like,
balance is way more
yeah, I
towards.
kind of
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like it's out of balance. Like no one's making originals anymore. Everyone's focusing on bootlegs because it's the easy way, you know, it's the way of
The
less
less hard.
friction.
it's with DJing as well. I always feel like, yes, I like to place hits in my set because you know they're gonna sing along. It's amazing. But then I try to blend in new stuff they don't know, stuff if you time it right, that's the beauty of DJing. They will be like, "Whoa, what's this?" and they will like it. But I feel like even with DJing, it's way more of a please the crowd show no matter what, instead of like, hey, try new stuff, explore new.
Also depends of the crowd, and I think that's the thing. Yeah, if you're in a VIP club, yeah, you gotta be more pleasing than really
Yeah, but you can still
try
work
a certain sound.
your
But
unknown music in
no,
there, you
but if
know,
you
and
have
I
the
think
ravers in front of you, they like the creativity with existing or original tracks. But it's
Could it
also
have?
cool to do some cool stuff with existing music. I sometimes listen to remakes of. I really liked the Open Sesame by Maddox. Like, wow, that he could hear this in that, man, I really respect that.
Could it have something to do with the fact that the world is not necessarily the most quiet place at this moment in time? There's a lot of stuff happening, so a lot of noise, a lot of movement. It's not really a quiet place. Um, could it be that we, as people, prefer to listen to stuff that we know because there's already a lot of stuff out there that is new and
Dude,
changing?
dude, look at Jobke and look at me. Then repeat a really important question in life. Are we the ones to answer such a thing?
I don't know.
No,
It's
man.
just
I don't think we're
course,
equipped.
it's just a
of
theory.
course
Like
we can
if
answer
you
that.
think about the fact that the whole world is changing on a lot of aspects, we don't have to get into. Um, but thinking about it, like there must be a reason why all radio stations, all playlists,
There
all
must
DJ
be
sets
a
are
reason that I'm king
stacked.
I
of my
think,
castle. That's
whoa,
actually
make
a
a
good
remake.
one. Yeah.
It's already been done
I'm
many
gone,
times.
guys.
Yeah, it's already done. But yeah,
Bamboo.
I just think there has to be a correlation somewhere because it's not a coincidence that we all started listening to um, older music or old hits.
I don't know. I mean, when it comes to fashion, I see everybody wearing pants the size of giants
Yeah, but
all of
that's
a
also
sudden.
going back to the 90s. It's the same kind of
Yeah,
fashion.
but don't we stick to the skinny jeans if we want stuff to stay the same? Yeah.
You stuck to to skinny jeans 20 years
Dude, I
long.
can't be arsed to replace my whole clothing cabinet, man.
I don't see I don't see you in those 90s jeans.
I don't care. If you buy them for me, I'll wear them.
Yeah,
I'll rock everything. It's no problem.
I'll rock anything. Yeah, right. No, but I
I
think
just think we need more big artists that venture out into the unknown. But maybe then again they are doing it and I don't see
Yeah.
it because
But there's a lot of cool stuff everywhere to see because I recently dove in the top 50 of Germany. Damn, they have some cool tracks in there. Some also in German, of course, which I don't speak fluently. Aber ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch.
ein bisschen.
Kein Problem. And no, but it's cool also to see there's a lot of gems in there. Don't forget, there's about 90,000 tracks uploaded every week to Spotify, of which probably
isn't it every day
75,000
by
are
now? I think it's
crap.
way more now.
I don't care. I don't know. I don't even want to know. But in there's also some cool stuff. I can really recommend the top 50 of Germany. And I also checked out the Dutch top 50. And there's this Mexican track on number 2 in Spotify, which has some cool guitar stuff going on. Yeah, I actually am amazed also but in dance, yeah, that's where the cover sickness is really big. But how about big is dance now in the charts? It's not so big.
No.
No.
Especially like club tracks you won't hear on
No, not
radio
at
at all. Yeah.
I do miss those times of like I think it's still live dance department. I think it's still a thing, but it used to be really underground. Like
Yeah.
every Saturday night, they just presented you the big underground hits.
I hated it. They never played our music. It wasn't
Yeah,
underground enough.
that's
I was like,
because you guys
dude,
never were underground. Always commercial dogs. Like always
no.
in for the money.
It's such a bad way to look at those things like that. There's just different music. Yeah.
Didn't you ever do like a set there? I did.
No, never.
Oh, okay.
No.
I once recorded liners at the studio when I had an interview. Like, oh, sometimes you go to a radio station and you record liners like, hey, this is Jay Hardway and you're listening to. And I remember they asked me to do that, kind of a just in case for if I was ever aired on Dance Department, but I'm not sure if they ever played my tracks. So that's quite funny. But
I always hated it. They always played the same stuff, but it's a cool show though.
And you also had
But
Studio Brussels.
oh,
The
Studio Bristol is really cool, but that's
Yeah.
really alternative. Yeah.
Yeah, they had like drum and bass and stuff. They also had really, I really discovered some nice tracks in there. Like every Saturday night, they just played.
But you know what I like? There's the ones that kind of preach being underground and the ones that are really underground. What I kind of dislike sometimes is that you have these also blogs or radio program or whatever, and they then always like when, let's say, the Swedish House Mafia releases something. Hey, they do a lot of cool stuff, but they also sometimes release shit. We all do. They also. But then
wow,
they always like
big statement right there.
they always like what they do, and I'm like, dude, no, they don't hit the bullseye each time. They and what I like about the
Let's be
Studio
honest.
Brussels of this world, they can be critical of everyone, and that's what I like. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
And I don't like those. It's also a lot of blogs are really into that they're never critical of their favorite artist, and
Yeah. I
sometimes they
think that
flame guys for having ghost producers, and then I'm like, dude, your favorite artist is
yeah.
the same
Yeah, I
MO.
agree.
Yeah, and
I
why
think
would you care even if they do it like that? Fuck it. But
I think I really miss that part of the, let's say, the dance culture. I really feel like that was way more of a thing. Also, I remember doing live shows that were then broadcast somewhere, and you would get like all these comments on it, and people were like brutally honest. They either loved it or sometimes they were like, "Oh, they didn't love it. In my case, they always loved it. It's amazing.
I don't know
But just
why.
like now, I agree with you, Ralph. Now you see a lot of those kind of blogs and stuff, and radio stations in general. They always do it, and they do like their favorite artists can do nothing wrong, and they always mention the new releases, and they're never critical. And like, oh, this set was amazing, and like the set's always amazing. And yeah, I miss that type of like crowd as well. That's just a bit like
The critical
um,
crowd.
yeah, it's just like that has an opinion, and has a not just blindly follows an artist for I don't know. It's just that's
True.
I feel like
Sometimes
that's
also makes me
missing.
laugh, and because I really like the remake Metro of Maupay and Kevin de Vries, but some people don't know it's a remake, and then they're gonna hate on remakes, but they love Metro,
Yeah,
and that's also kind of funny sometimes. But yeah, for me, it's also who cares if it's good. If it sounds good, it is good, and I don't really care if it's then where it comes from, or who made it, or who didn't made it, or how they made it. Just if you like it, you like it. And if you don't like it, it can be your favorite artist. And I also understand that they do have, like, always have the benefit of the doubt, but you can be critical of them.
True.
Even Fred again might miss sometimes, He doesn't do
Yes, he
lately
does.
because
These statements,
the dude is
Swedish House Mafia, Fred again, being
Yeah, I
burnt
know.
down to the ground.
No, it's actually a sign that I really have high respect for what they can do,
Yeah.
But
Well,
even
I feel
they
like
can miss, I
with
think.
Swedish House Mafia, I feel like since they quit, I haven't heard the same like production level amazing. Like I hear stuff by them, and I'm just sometimes like blown away, like how it sounds in my studio or car.
No, I
But
get you.
I don't. I miss this kind of like the vibe of like, hey, this is just the good idea, and it has that X factor. Yes, a lot of their tracks are really good, but sometimes it just lacks that magic, and I
That
think
old
that's
soul that they used to have. But
yeah,
it's also really hard
yeah,
because they quit, you lose that momentum,
yeah.
you kind of
That's the
forget
thing.
what it
Yeah,
was all about, and then you have to restart. There's a whole new landscape. You try to fit in. And that's
yeah,
also maybe a wrong thing to do, trying to fit in. I don't know if they really do it, but then like and then you say Fred again. That's so fresh, man. How the fuck does he come up with it? And
yeah.
and
Very
that's
authentic.
that's the new Swedish House Mafia. Yeah,
Yeah.
Another bold statement.
yeah, it is.
Now,
Hey,
what I never really got with
It's not the same, I think.
Swedish House Mafia is I went to their ending concert in Stockholm, which was like, I don't know, 4 years ago. They didn't stop, did they? Like, they kept releasing songs. They still do shows.
At some point they stopped, and then it was Exo and Grosso for a while.
Yeah, in between.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was a bit longer ago.
Exo
I
and Grosso,
remember.
I really liked Exo and Grosso.
I
It
really
was
liked
such a good,
Exo and Grosso. Exactly.
such a good concept.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Great
Good
song.
shows. Was just very well done, marketing wise as well.
Yeah, but I never
But
really
I
got.
think Fred again. The difference with that and Swedish House Mafia is Swedish House Mafia came from the rave culture and kind of like blew up there, I think, and then got to the big crowd. Fred again, I feel really came from kind of like internet TikTok fame, and then went into the like
Yeah,
club scene, and then blew up there.
I'm not sure
But
what his
it's also
backstory
because
is.
I've been to one of his concerts, and yeah, it's just funny to see the crowd there, and like hear the crowd say stupid shit. Like we were walking down the stairs in the Ziggo Dome in Holland, and we heard behind us some guy say, "Yeah, I really missed this boiler room vibe. Yeah, we just really needed the boiler room vibe
In the Ziggo
because he
Dome.
only knows Fred again from the boiler room set. Probably hasn't seen any other thing, and then goes to the live show of Fred again." And is surprised. It was just really funny. Just like, do you
like
even know what you bought a
bit
ticket for?
undereducated crowd.
Yeah.
But that's
definitely.
because it's a viral artist at this point. So people see the boiler room set because it went viral. That's what they expect. The same vibe, the same
Yep.
menace in the crowd.
The
But
same
yeah,
guy pushing stop in
yeah,
the drop.
exactly. Like they expect some sort of entertainment in it as well. But I think that's not necessarily what you're going to get if you're going to
No.
visit Fred again
Again?
and again.
Again,
Yeah.
again and again and
You've been
again.
twice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Talking
I went to
about
Fred
Fred again.
again.
Is he playing at Tomorrowland this year?
Don't think
Not
so.
again.
I don't think so. But
Talking about Tomorrowland.
talking about Tomorrowland, we have two people who do play there this year. People.
Hey!
Nice.
I don't know where Jopke is for
Yeah.
me, but he might
For
be
me,
here.
it's on that
This
side.
guy.
You're all pointing to me right now, but that's okay. Yeah.
Ah,
JoeySuki,
Yeah.
the comeback.
Exactly. No, how when do you guys play? 1 or 2 weekends?
Sunday, the 21st of July.
Is that
which
the
stage?
first? It's the first weekend.
Which stage? That's a really good question.
Thanks.
Because I don't exactly know. So keep an eye on my socials and you will find out.
I
Nice.
will.
I got the name of the stage, but not the host. So I do know the name of the stage, but not the host. But I will update
What's the
everybody.
name of the
I
stage?
know, but Planaxis stage.
Oh, nice.
You're in for a treat, my boy.
And so how does that work? Because you get booked, but
Main
you
stage, right?
Yeah, we
It's
do
the
main stage again.
Planaxis.
Yeah, you do main stage.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
Planaxis
cool.
stage is the main stage.
That's the main stage, yeah. And then you have the main stage, which is the second stage.
Yeah, exactly. But how does that work as in the booking process? Because you just get an offer through your agent, but you have no idea why they booked you or whatever, or do they reach out to you personally?
It's about connections. It's about having a name, be like good enough, known enough to play Tomorrowland in the first place, I guess, because they represent something. They need a lineup that also represents that, so a certain quality threshold, let's say. And then, yeah, there are so many artists of a good level. They can't book everybody every year, so then it's just about for the really big artists, let's say, the timing of their schedules, whether they have other tours, fee. And I think for an artist like myself, it's really about the connection of my management and my agents to Tomorrowland and how they negotiate and speak. And if my name comes up with releases or has been coming up with releases in the past year, to show your relevance. And then there does come an offer or not. I've been playing on Tomorrowland. The first time was in 2014. So it's really cool for me to 10 years later still be good enough for Tomorrowland. And I've played a couple times and also a couple times I didn't. So then they, just you don't. I'm an artist that doesn't always get that chance. So I'm really, really excited to be part of Tomorrowland again.
Yeah, and it can depend on a lot of factors. I mean, Tomorrowland is so big. Imagine being a talent scout for them. It's pretty hard also to fill out all those stages with the best acts. And yeah, you can definitely easy overlook somebody. For us, it was always, we've been playing the Smash the House stage always because we release a lot of music over there and work a lot with them. So that makes it easier to get noticed also for other stages because we work a lot with Dimi and Mike, and if you play before or after them, yeah, there's a lot of people coming to see them. Yeah, you're a bycatch, and for us that's really gives us a lot of benefit. And this year, yeah, they also reached out through our agent if we were available to play the main stage also next to the Smash the House stage. Yeah, chicken skin, man. It's really cool. And of course, there's some other people they can choose from. You don't really know why they saw you fit for the stage at that time. We play from 5:30 to 6:30.
That's a good time as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. It's also, I think, the live stream already starts out then. And
Which day?
that's the Friday, the second Friday.
Mm.
And yeah, get you into overdrive. What are you gonna play? New intro track, everything. So no, that's our main focus point towards which we work, and all the rest is trying to elevate the set time by time. When Marlon plays this weekend, he plays London. He takes all the new stuff, comes back with feedback, and then we go into the studio, incorporate that, and then work towards the summer and also a main stage. That's the hour you can showcase what you do for a lot of people. So
Yeah.
better not fuck up.
Yeah. And the big question that a lot of people wonder always is, do DJs actually play live during
Definitely.
Tomorrowland, or is it all
Yeah.
pre-recorded?
No, I really don't get all that pre-recorded
Yeah,
nonsense. The only
I
thing,
know why. I know why this is a hype. It's because Deadmau5 said it in an interview, and for some
I didn't
reason,
even know.
if Deadmau5 says something, first of all, it gets shared in many TikToks, and always people believe him without question. There's something about him that people instantly believe him. But he said, like, yeah, for the big festivals, it would surprise him if people play live. But that's because he is not involved with a lot of those festivals. He doesn't play all those festivals that much anymore. So I always think his comments are a bit weird.
Like we also talked
Yeah.
about with Danik, also especially the Dutch DJs, Afrojack, Hardwell, Danik himself. A lot of those guys, they really are really good DJs. They made so much flying hours. I really don't know anybody who fakes a set at such a stage.
I think there's 3 types of DJing at big festivals or in general. One is pre-recorded, and then I don't think people press play once and then let it play, because that would be caught on every live stream in the world. I think it's the pre-recorded that you have decided already exactly which order of tracks you're gonna play. I do think there's quite a lot of that going on like Ultra Miami, Tomorrowland main stage,
But that's
for
okay,
example.
right? Like just
To
deciding.
be
Yeah,
honest,
well,
to be
it's
honest, we
okay.
practice our set also, and it
Yeah.
comes down to those. You
Yep.
don't have to miss a cue point, but if you do, you can still have some outs,
Yeah.
you know. But we actually know where the cue points are, and
Yep.
we do know how our set must go. And then there is some wiggle room, but you kind of already know what
Yeah.
will
Yeah,
work
I think
there.
the second one is where you have like your tracks ready. You know, 15 to 20 tracks or whatever, how fast you mix depends a little bit, is gonna fill out that hour or 1.5 hour, and you kind of know which tracks, but you don't know the order yet. I think that happens probably the most on main stages. And then there's the do it on the fly, and that's I think only for some of the big ones, maybe some of the DJs like Carl Cox or. But I think for if I would play main stage Tomorrowland, for example, I would probably have my tracks ready that I for sure want to play. Kind of figure out an order or some transitions already. Start with what I always do on most festivals is I know the first 2 or 3 tracks that I'm gonna play, and from there I kind of wing it. And sometimes I have a little folder of I want to play these tracks, and then you can kind of based on the energy. But like I think for Tomorrowland, you want certain songs to be played. You want, yeah. So you really kind of have to pre-plan your set at least.
Yeah, it's really a showcase.
The
Yeah.
thing is, what you wiggle with is whether or not how the intensity goes. Sometimes you just feel okay, they're ready for some more already, let's skip a record or two and bring it up to the next pace a little bit sooner. Or sometimes you go like, maybe we should take it down a notch and leave it a little bit. Don't amp up the BPMs too much, and then put in a record or two around 130, and then bam, 180.
I think for most artists, for most people who wonder about this topic, is also like the pyro and the fireworks. They always wonder like, how is it possible that all the pyro goes off
Oh,
and
you
the
have people
fireworks?
for that, huh?
Yeah,
Actually,
but
it's quite a lot of the time. If you look at our Tomorrowland videos, it's me with the mic, and then you can see on the screen, you can see the waveforms of the tracks. It's actually cool. I'll make a video of it next time, and it can explain. Oh man, would be a good tick. We're going viral, people. No, but it's how you see it. You have a screen, you see all the waveforms, you see what Marlon has in his decks, and then you know when the intensity points are, where the drops are going to be. And then I talk to the guys, not like this, but I have the headphone up, like I'm a gamer. I said, hey, dudes, they're in the front of house. Hey, you get acquainted before. How you doing? And hey, can I get a big shot of pyro at the upcoming drop? Yeah, boy, you can. Then they say, and then
oh, so you're the one who's arranging that.
yeah, and of course you don't have it's such a stage you don't have your visuals because that's all from Tomorrowland. But then also imagine you can also have your visual guy with you
Yeah,
who can
I think people maybe underestimate how much a lot of the visual artists and pyro artists are involved with all the music. I used to sometimes tour with a VJ who did my visuals live on screen. He just knew a lot of my tracks, so he knew when he's mixing in. If you really are into the music, you can hear when someone is mixing in a certain record, and not even see it on the screen at the front of house. So like that's also helping. And then he would load those visuals for that song, and for the songs he then didn't know because I didn't always play the same set, he would improvise. And because he's so good, he knows, ooh, I feel something like this. And I think people maybe underestimate that, like the visual artists and the pyro artists, they're people who usually are very much involved with EDM. So if you say, hey, on the drop, we want this, they know when the drop will hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There
So
are
yeah.
some moments like we also played a festival and we did the last 15 minutes. And for that, we had to turn in 15 minutes of music because they had fireworks planned on there. And yeah, I think that might happen more often. Yeah, that's not ideal. It's not what you want, but I get it. You gotta have a
They
little
don't
bit of
want
show in there.
Yeah.
And so might be that the legend comes from there, that there's like pre-recorded sets, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, 99%, you can just say there's no pre-recorded sets. It's big nonsense. Yeah.
Let's end that myth right here.
Yes.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Aww.
Yeah,
It's
we
just getting
Is it
warm.
already that time?
Yeah, it's already
Damn.
3:00. I have to get going in a couple of minutes, but it's been a pleasure. I think it's a valuable few topics for listeners. We've debunked some myths here. We've made some bold statements. We've been there. We're done.
Pause for effect.
Yeah, exactly. Deep breath for effect. For all the listeners, if you still are not a part of the Artist Coaching Discord, make sure to join. We have bi-weekly Q&A sessions, and you can connect with artists from all over the world. The link is in the description. Any other shameless plugs for you guys?
Listen
New
to our
song
new
coming
track
out in
Around the
February.
World.
New track, new songs. Okay, cool. Check it out.
You
on
have to be there
Spotify.
quickly, or else you'll be like a loser who comes after the first million
There's a new
streams.
concept for my new track, and it runs out of place. It can only be played so many times on Spotify.
It instant
Hey,
deletes
whoa!
itself.
This is actually an idea.
Instant deletes after 100,000 plays.
Wow! Imagine.
Man, I made that joke so many times. Go have a listen before it's sold out.
Never
Yeah,
sold
but
out.
why don't we do that? We limit it
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you?
because
Well, you
then
can try.
And you go
Marketing.
viral, it becomes it, and you say it costs €1 per listen.
Yeah, now you pay.
Hey, it's what the guy
Now you
did.
pay, eh?
Hey, it's what the guy did with the Wu-Tang album. He
Yeah,
only made one
exactly.
copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, genius.
It's
Been
basically
there, done that.
NFTs. Hey, where did NFTs go, huh, guys?
That's
Come
the
on.
Oh,
thing.
dude,
Yeah.
Where did they go?
I can tell you where NFTs go, but not in this episode.
Oh, shit.
They're everywhere.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I'll see you guys
Bye,
next week.
guys.
Bye.